Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about a very important question, a very important problem which we all face. We want to speak in English fluently and confidently. We are really fascinated about this language. We want to grow in our careers. We want to be successful in life. That is why we want to learn English or learn to speak English. But the most important question is why it is very difficult to speak English, right? Many a times we start feeling this. We start having this question. We start having this doubt in our heads. Like why it is so difficult to speak English fluently and confidently, right? So guys, today I'm going to answer this question, why English is so difficult to speak. And I'm sure at the end of the session, you will be able to understand what can help you, or rather, you'll get a solution of what can help you to speak English fluently and confidently. So, I'm going to talk about the problem and its solution in this video. On that note, guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. Well guys, if you haven't subscribed my channel, do subscribe my channel, press the notification icon, like and share my videos, and do write your comments in the comment section. Today I'm going to take this $1,000,000 question which we all have in mind, or at any point of time when you're learning to speak English, we have this doubt in mind that why it is so difficult to speak English. Let's explore this. So the first thing I would say is it's not difficult at all to speak English. It's our mindset. It's a mind block, right? Because what we do is when we start doing something, we just want results, right? It is our mentality, it's our mindset that whenever we give an exam or we start studying something, we start doing something, we just want to see if we are making any progress or what is the result. We are more curious to know the result than the process of what we are doing or how we are improving on this, or what we are doing to improve. So we don't focus on that, rather we focus on the result more, and that is what hampers our process or the learning process. So guys, first we have to change our mindset. We have to start taking it very lightly or very easily or very casually. We want to learn to speak English, well and good. It's a new language for us and we should be excited about it, right? We should be excited about it. We should have some or the other reason which will make us motivated to learn this language. And we should think we should start planning how we can learn this language in a better way, irrespective of when it is going to help us to speak English fluently and confidently, irrespective of the result. Like if I can be fluent in 3 months or 6 months or a year or 2 years, right? We all get fascinated about if somebody, comes up with, I'll help you to speak English in 3 months. I'll help you to speak English in 6 months, and you get fascinated and you get attracted towards them. But guys, it is not possible. It is a journey, it is a process, it is a continuous process. Even today, I practice English speaking. Nobody is complete or completely fluent. Every day you can learn something or the other, right? So that is why change your mindset about how to take it. I'm going to learn a new language and I'm going to enjoy it, the process. Whatever it takes, whatever time it takes, doesn't matter. I'm just going to enjoy the process and I'm going to learn a new language. This will help. The second, the most important thing is English is a foreign language for us, right? We are not in an English country where everybody speaks English. Right, we are not in a foreign country, we are not in an English country where everybody speaks English. Our mother tongue is Hindi or our regional language or our native language, whichever we speak. India is a multicultural, multilingual country, right? Every state has their own language and culture and tradition. So it's so difficult for us to accept that English is one of them. No, English is a foreign language for us. It is a different language for us altogether. We don't see people speaking around us in English, right? Except we are in schools or colleges or offices. So when we are in schools, colleges or offices, we speak in English, right? Other than that, we don't prefer to speak in English. So that is not our mother tongue, or that is not a second language, right? It probably might be a second language or a third language for us. So that is why English is difficult for us to speak. If you keep on hearing this language, if you keep on listening to it every now and then, it will be much easier for you to speak in English. So that is why I always say listening is something which will help you to understand the language and get you familiar with the language. Right? So that is why listening is very important. So you have to dedicate time to listening. Once you dedicate time to listening, it will be much easier for you to understand the language, grasp things or the words or the language, and become familiar with the language. So since it is a foreign language, we have to pay more attention to listening to English. Okay, so this is the second thing. Third one is we don't get much support or encouragement to speak English, right? When you are at home or when you are with your friends, nobody bothers, right? They don't want to talk in English. They will, if you start speaking in English, they will start saying that, why are you speaking in English, right? Why are you being so formal? So we have this mindset, or we just don't feel very comfortable speaking in English with our family members or our friends, or at a informal gatherings, right? Which means that nobody encourages us to speak in English, right? Our parents, of course, want us to be fluent and confident in English because now they know what the world outside is. But still, it's so difficult for you to start speaking in front of everybody in English. We don't get that encouragement or support from people around us to speak English. So it all comes to ourselves. Like, we have to take that initiative, we have to take that effort, and we have to speak on our own. So that is why we prefer practicing it on our own rather than going out and speaking with our family and friends, right? So that encouragement and support is missing. But there is a solution. What we can do is, we have our siblings, we have our relatives and friends who really want to speak in English. They also want to become fluent in English, right? Start getting hold of those people and start speaking with them. Don't speak with everybody, anybody and everybody, right? Just make sure that you create a group. Make sure that you create a group or come up with a small group of people who actually wants to speak in English, whether it is your office colleagues or your friends or your relatives or your siblings, whoever is there. Get hold of people, and trust me on this, a lot of people want to speak in English. They want to practice English speaking. At least nowadays, of course, they want to. So speak to them directly that I want to practice English speaking. Would you be interested in? Come up with a group, start chatting with them, start speaking to them over video calls, or when you meet, you can speak to them in English on any given topic. Any topic you can take up and speak on it. So you have to take that initiative, guys. I know there's no encouragement, there's no support, but still we have to make a way for ourselves, and it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. Try using this method and you will get to know how easy it is to practice English speaking. Fourth one is motivation. Now, it's very important that you should know why you want to speak English, why you want to learn English. It's very important. If you want to grow in your career, if you want to get admission in a good college, or if you want to study in a foreign university, if you want to go and travel abroad or whatever, there might be n number of reasons you want to learn to speak English, but you have to have one. You have to have one. I started speaking in English because I was quite fascinated by this language and my teacher. I really liked her and I wanted to be like her. I wanted to speak English like her, and that made me to start working on speaking in English, right? So you might have n number of reasons, any reason, but that reason has to be strong enough to motivate you to learn English or to learn to speak English. Once you'll have that motivation, that one thing which will help you to, or that target, it will definitely help you to speak English fluently and confidently without much efforts. It will be effortless for you because you know why you are doing this, and that will be enough for you to motivate to speak English, right? So that motivation you need to have. And guys, it is a long process. It is not a short process. Whoever comes and tells you that, 3 months I'm going to teach you how to speak in English and 6 months I'm going to teach you how to speak in English, it is a scam. It is a fraud. Take it from me. You can't. What they do is they will tell you all the theoretical things and then they'll put it on you that you have to practice to improve your English or to speak English fluently and confidently. That is the key basically. You have to speak to be fluent, and that is on you. That is on your shoulders. You have to practice if you want to improve your English. So that is why practice is very important. So whoever says 3 months or 6 months, it's a scam, it's a fraud. It's better you start speaking in English from today and do it every day in the right way. It will definitely help you to progress. Next and the most important one. Now, you have to learn English. You want to speak in English fluently and confidently, right? So that you have a motivation. You know why you want to learn to speak English. What is your aim? You want to get a job in an MNC. You want to do a degree program for from a foreign university. You want to travel abroad or whatever it is, right? So you know that, and that is why you are trying to speak English. You want to learn to speak English. Well and good, which is fine, absolutely perfect. But what is your plan, right? That is important. How you are planning to achieve that. So plan is very important. How you are preparing for that, how you are planning for that, how you're strategizing for that. That strategy is very important. So setting goals is very easy, but putting systems in place is very difficult. So the time you decide that you want to speak English fluently and confidently because of so and so reasons, and you know the timeline that you have 1 year to do this preparation, right? You have exams after a year, or next year you are going to sit for the exam. So you're preparing for, or you want to improve your English fluently, and you want to give a TOEFL exam, you want to give a IELTS exam, whatever exam you want to give. So you're preparing for that. So you have 1 year or 6 months or 1.5 years or 2 years. So you have to plan. You need to come up with a routine, a strategy, a plan, a system wherein you know how you're going to achieve that goal or achieve that target within 1 year. So you have to plan for every single day. You should know where you need to focus more on. What is your strengths? What is your weaknesses? Which area you need to improve more on, and accordingly you have to chalk out your plan every single day. How much time you have to give to listening or reading or writing or speaking or whatever. So you have to have a plan in place. You have to have a strategy, a system in place, which will help you to achieve that goal, right? So you have to come up with a timeline. You have to come up with a routine. You have to come up with a strategy. That is very important. And that will help you to make things easier and simpler and quicker. And it will help you to speak English fluently and confidently within your timeline, for sure. And if you don't have a plan or a strategy or a routine in place, it will be very difficult for you to achieve your target, your goal. How much motivated you are, how much interested you are in knowing, in learning things, will not help you, because it is going to confuse you, right? You're not following it every single day. You're doing it haphazardly, or you're doing it irregularly. You don't have consistency. Then it will be very difficult for you to achieve the target in that time frame. So consistency, routine, strategy, or a plan is very important. Then it will not be difficult for you to speak English or learn to speak English. And the last one we all know is practice. Of course, you have to practice. Practice, practice, and practice. Nobody can help you with that, right? So you have to do it. That is your part. I come up with a lot of conversational videos wherein I take up basic general conversational topics, day-to-day topics which come up in our conversation, and I speak on it just for you to practice. Go through my conversation sessions, guys. It will be very helpful for you. You don't need to come up with a topic. You don't need to come up with any ideas, or you don't have to do any research. Everything is just in front of you. I am giving you the content. I am giving you the ideas. I am giving you the topic. I am giving you basic day-to-day conversational situations which comes up in every day, which we talk about every day. And it's so easy to follow. My English is very simple, very easy. The sentences are quite simple and it's very easy to understand and relate to. Go through all my sessions. Start speaking with me. Repeat after me. Speak with me. Shadow with me. Take my idea and speak on it. Or you can add your own ideas and speak on it. Right? You can do n number of things with that. So that is where practice is very important. That is why I take up practice sessions. I come up with practice sessions more so that it will help you to understand things, help you to speak on day-to-day, everyday conversational topics. And if you keep on practicing in this way, it will be much, much, much easier for you to speak on any topic, anywhere with anyone. Trust me on this. Because we talk about experiences, we talk about incidents, we talk about events, we talk about our actions, we talk about what we have done, things we do, we give feedbacks, we review things, we do a lot of all these things, and that is what I take up in my conversational sessions. So start practicing in this way, guys. It will be much easier for you to speak English, and then you will never say that English is difficult to speak. Trust me on this. So guys, these were some of the points which you have to keep in mind when you're learning to speak English, or when you're learning English, right? To speak English fluently and confidently is not easy. But if you follow all these advices, it will be much easier for you to speak, because these things are very basics. If you follow this properly, it will help you to understand English better and to speak English better. So guys, that's the end for today's session. I'm sure this is going to help you a lot. Let me know how do you feel about this session in the comment section. Until then, keep watching, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye.